ask that you
Please put your cell phones on airplane mode or turn them off so they won't interfere with the concert. When the concert starts, no one will be allowed in through the double doors in the center aisle as we are live streaming and making an archive video, and we don't want any distractions on the video. Good evening, everyone. Please welcome Tom Proctor and the Kendall Orchestra. Welcome, everyone. I am Armando Acevedo, and I am so happy to be here to be your announcer this evening. The piece the orchestra just played was One Nation Under God, composed by Jeff Cranfield, who is a composer, conductor, arranger, and orchestrator of music for orchestras, concert bands, and choirs, as well as instrumental solos and ensembles. The title is, of course, taken from the Pledge of Allegiance. This composition is comprised of all original material, evoking the emotion of patriotism. We present to you tonight this 4th annual Patriotic and Americana concert by the Kendall Orchestra, Kendall Choir, guest soloist, and our special anonymous guest conductor. You've heard of the masked singer? Well, we have a masked conductor. Who could it be? Now, how to make a simple tune into a beautiful and interesting arrangement? It can be a challenge, but John O'Reilly has done a superb job with his rendition of the next piece. The classic hymn, How Firm a Foundation, is the subject of this exciting treatment. The opening, Maestuoso, hints at the tune before leading to a complete statement of the melody. The opening motif is then developed into a full-blown allegro section, including some interesting contrapuntal treatments of the melodic material. A slower, reflective section featuring smaller instrumental groups leads us into a return of the original hymn, fully harmonized with an upper woodwind descant and percussion embellishments. How Firm a Foundation is a hymn so well known and loved that it was sung during the funerals of U.S. Presidents Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. It was sung by American troops engaged in the Spanish-American War on Christmas morning in 1898. It was a favorite of General Robert E. Lee and also was sung at his funeral. And yet, with all of its notoriety, the author is somewhat of a mystery. The hymn is attributed only to Kay in the original publication. It was first published in 1787 in a book titled A Selection of Hymns from the Best Authors. John Rippon edited the book, and it is believed that the Kay might refer to John Keane, who was the cantor at Rippon's church. Others have associated Kay with Kirkham or John Keith. Other hymn books credit the text to Robert Keane. So if your first name or last name starts with a K, you may be eligible for past royalties. Now, please welcome the assistant conductor of the Kendall Orchestra to the podium, Nicole Fasco, to conduct Early American Hymn Song. 1976 is a musical with music and lyrics by Sherman Edwards. The show is based on the events leading up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The show premiered on Broadway in 1969, earning only warm reviews, but ran for 1,217 performances. The production won 3 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. In 1972, it was made into a film adaptation. It was revived on Broadway in 1997, and yet another Broadway revival is scheduled for 2022, which begins this month with a pre-New York engagement at the American Repertory Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Sherman Edwards, a writer of pop songs with several top 10 hits in the late 1950s and early 60s, spent several years developing lyrics and libretto for a musical based on the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Edwards recounted that, "I wanted to show the Founding Fathers at their outermost limits. These men were the cream of their colonies. They disagreed and fought with each other, but they understood commitment, and though they fought affirmatively." Adams, the outspoken delegate from Massachusetts, was chosen as the central character, and his quest to persuade all 13 colonies to vote for independence became the central conflict. At one point, a courier is asked if he has seen any fighting, and the courier replies that his 2 closest friends were killed on the same day at Lexington. At one point in tonight's arrangement, you'll hear how he describes the final thoughts of a dying young man as his mother searches for his body. Please welcome Tom back to the podium to direct this arrangement by Frank Erickson of Selections from 1776.
Sorry, a little housekeeping.
darling baby, I've come to where you lay, and I'll hold you in the meadow while the soldiers march away. I'll hold you in the meadow in the last light of day. Hey, hey,
The Pink Panther franchise began with the release of the classic Pink Panther film in 1963. The role of Inspector Clouseau was originated by and is most closely associated with Peter Sellers. Most of the films were written and directed by Blake Edwards, with theme music composed by Henry Mancini. And now, who was the mystery guest conductor of tonight's arrangement? Can we get a drum roll, please? Is it Henry Mancini? Oh, we're doing gloves. All right. Drum roll. No, it's Victor Lopez. Please put your hands together for Victor Lopez. The cell phone has become a staple of communication, socially, occupationally, educationally, and every other Lee you can imagine. But how does it relate to tonight's concert? Well, why not? It has become part of the fabric of Americana. The next piece will feature the cell phone, plural actually, as the soloist, combining technology and the musical arts. It is a light-hearted commentary on the ever-present, yet sometimes unfortunate interruptions that take place in the concert hall as a result of the technological advances of the 20th and 21st centuries. Now, make sure you have silenced your phones, because if not, we are taking them over. Now, please welcome our concerto soloist to the forefront, Dexter Dwight. Here is Cell Phone Concerto by James Stevenson.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want you all to know I've been practicing this all through COVID, so I feel comfortable that I'll be able to pull it off. Okay?
next piece is a polka, composed by Josef Strauss as a commission by the Wertheim Company. The polka is originally a Czech dance, and the genre of this dance music is familiar throughout all of Europe and the Americas. It originated in the middle of the 19th century in Bohemia, now part of the Czech Republic. The polka remains a popular folk music genre in many Western countries and is performed by many folk artists. Franz von Wertheim's company produced safes that were marketed as fireproof, and Wertheim was known to demonstrate that particular claim by placing his safes in bonfires. This polka was commissioned in 1869 to celebrate the highly successful company's 20,000th safe. The orchestration includes a special solo instrument, an anvil. At various points, the score directs the percussionist to strike the anvil with a hammer, recalling the making of and solidity of the safe. Of course, every concert needs an anvil solo, so as an encore, Dexter will solo on the anvil. Come on back, Nicole, and lead this herd in the Firefest, German for fireproof.
It's a real anvil, okay? Maestra, I need to tune. Please. Again, please. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Meister. 1 second, please. Thank you. This is important.
from Americana back to the Patriotic, our next selection has had popular support to be considered as the national anthem of the United States. But Irving Berlin said, "We have but one national anthem." But I consider this song to be the most important song I have ever written. Irving Berlin wrote the song in 1918 while serving in the U.S. Army at Camp Upton in Yaphank, New York, but decided that it did not fit in a review called Yip Yip Yaphank, so he set it aside. In 1938, with the rise of Adolf Hitler, Irving Berlin, who was Jewish and had arrived in the U.S. from Russia at the age of 5, felt it was time to revive it as a peace song, and it was introduced on an Armistice Day broadcast in 1938, sung by Kate Smith on her radio show. He also provided an introduction that is now rarely heard, but which Kate Smith always used, and you will hear these lyrics tonight. Berlin gave the royalties of the song to the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. Our vocalist this evening is Daisy Sue. She began her musical studies in piano, organ, viola, and voice in Hong Kong and later moved to Miami. She holds a Master of Music degree in vocal performance from the University of Miami. She also studied German and voice at the Salzburg College, Austria. Daisy is a music teacher at Palmetto Middle School. As a professional musician and performer, Daisy has performed at Carnegie Hall. She is a well sought after soloist in South Florida, appearing frequently with the Miami Lyric Opera, the Greater Miami Symphonic Band, the Church by the Sea, Seraphic Fire, Music All, Second Avenue Jewish Chorale, and many churches and synagogues throughout the area. She has soloed with the Kendall Orchestra in every one of our December holiday celebration and May Patriotic and Americana concerts. Plus, 2 of her children, Sierra on violin and Zach on clarinet, are playing tonight. Please welcome Daisy Sue to the stage for her rendition of Irving Berlin's God Bless America. Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd is a musical with a book, music, and lyrics by Leslie Brookus and Anthony Newley. The musical is best known for introducing the standards A Wonderful Day Like Today and Who Can I Turn To? The show title is a transposition of the phrase, the smell of the grease paint, the roar of the crowd, referring to the experience of theater performers. The show opened at Theatre Royal in Nottingham, England on August 3rd, 1964, and then toured the UK in anticipation of a London opening. Audience interest was minimal, and it never reached the West End. American theater producer David Merrick saw the show in Liverpool, and aware production costs could be kept low, decided to bring it to the United States. It began with a lengthy national tour under the condition that Anthony Newley step into the starring role of Cocky. Tony Bennett's hit version of Who Can I Turn To? And an original cast recording released by RCA Victor several weeks before the show reached New York City, opposite of normal practice, brought the musical to the public's awareness and boosted sales. The tour was so successful that most of Merrick's investment was paid back while the show was still on the road. After 7 previews, the Broadway production, directed by and starring Newley, opened on May 16, 1965 at the Schubert Theater, where it ran for a modest 231 performances. One of the songs has hit the popular genre, and tonight we present a bluesy style to you. As an encore, let's hear Daisy Sue's rendition of Feeling Good.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
the Kendall Choir is making their way up here for the next part of this evening's program, I'd like to invite Pastor Ruben Velasco to say a few words. Yes, I said a few words to fill the dead air time. Pastor Ruben.
APB, Ruben. I'll say a few words. Some of you know, but next Saturday, I'm officiating a wedding at my sister-in-law's in Naples, and I am a ordained minister in the Universal Life Church. I have a bumper sticker that says that. Okay? No, but welcome. We welcome everybody here. This is a community orchestra, and we invite all the community just to come in and show our love. Oh, I really need this? Could you hear me before? Okay. Thank you. This is my kindergarten teacher voice. So, but the one thing about this community orchestra, as Pastor Ruben said, to build a church is building it from small groups up. And to me, this is one of the most perfect small groups there is. One of our clarinet players got sick last evening, and one of our other clarinet players, Joel, brought him some tests. He tested negative twice, but he still didn't feel good. That's what this group is. It's like a family. And that, to me, is important because I am a very inclusive type of person. We have every denomination, different ethnic groups, different ability levels. Victor, is this the first concert you've ever played? There it is, Victor Rodriguez, you know? And that's what I really like about Pastor Ruben. It's a very inclusive church, and we want everybody to feel welcome. The pastor, I found that he had to go home because his mother fell ill. So let's all pray for her, and let's pray that I can get through the rest of this. Thank you for coming.
George Michael Cohan, who lived from July 3rd, 1878 to November 5th, 1942, was an American entertainer, playwright, composer, lyricist, actor, singer, dancer, and theatrical producer. Yikes. He claimed to have been born on the 4th of July, but alas, he missed it by a day. Cohan began his career as a child, performing with his parents and sister in a vaudeville act known as The Four Cohans. Beginning with Little Johnny Jones in 1904, he wrote, composed, produced, and appeared in more than 36 Broadway musicals. Cohan wrote more than 50 shows and published more than 300 songs during his lifetime, including the standards Over There, Give My Regards to Broadway, The Yankee Doodle Boy, and You're a Grand Old Flag. As a composer, he was one of the early members of the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, ASCAP. He displayed remarkable theatrical longevity, appearing in films until the 1930s and continuing to perform as a headline artist until 1940. Known in the decade before World War I as the man who owned Broadway, he is considered the father of American musical comedy. A statue of Cohan in Times Square, New York City commemorates his contributions to American musical theater. Arranged by Jay Althouse, the Kendall Choir will now present a salute to George M. Cohan, a medley including You're a Grand Old Flag, Give My Regards to Broadway, and The Yankee Doodle Boy. Accompanied by Paul Schwartz, Jennifer, let the chorus begin.
Feeling, and it's just like rain.
One of America's most famous folk songs, its lyrics were written by American folk singer Woody Guthrie in 1940. Ironically, it was in critical response to Irving Berlin's God Bless America, with a melody based on a Carter family tune called When the World's on Fire. When Guthrie was tired of hearing Kate Smith sing God Bless America on the radio in the late 1930s, he sarcastically called his song God Bless America for Me, before renaming it as it is currently known. In 2002, it was one of 50 recordings chosen that year by the Library of Congress to be added to the National Recording Registry. You may have sung this in school, but now let's sing it as adults together in harmony with each other. Let's all sing, This Land is Your Land. Let's take a commercial break. Uh-oh. Tonight's concert took a lot to put together: time, talent, and money. If you are so moved to donate to offset our costs, there are baskets in the narthex, also known as the lobby, conveniently placed for you. Checks can be made out to Kendall United Methodist Church. Please mark orchestra in the memo section, or you can donate on the church's website at www.kendallchurch.org. And I'm trying to get them on Apple Pay because checks, really? All right. Just saying. Right after the concert, we will offer refreshments in the social hall, which is located in the building next door. When you walk out, go out to the right to the next building and turn right down that sidewalk. Come say hello and meet the musicians. This is a community orchestra, so if you play an instrument, there may be a place in it for you, or you can join the choir. You are always very welcome. Now, back to our scheduled program. The reverent end to this program will be a rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner arranged by Jeff Cranfill. On September 14, 1814, Francis Scott Key, a lawyer who was on board a British ship trying to negotiate an agreement, penned a poem which was later set to music. In 1931, it became America's official national anthem. The poem, originally titled The Defense of Fort McHenry, was written after Key witnessed the Maryland fort being bombarded by the British during the War of 1812. This arrangement is a stylized fantasia on the melody of the national anthem. Please be ready for the cue to sing the national anthem with us. Please rise as you are able for the Star-Spangled Banner. one more piece? All right, you can have a seat for a few minutes. In his 1928 autobiography, Marching Along, John Philip Sousa wrote that he composed this march on Christmas Day, 1896. He was on board an ocean liner on his way home from a vacation with his wife in Europe and had just learned of the recent death of David Blakely, the manager of the Sousa Band. He composed the march in his head and committed the notes to paper on arrival in the United States. It was first performed at Willow Grove Park, just outside Philadelphia, on May 14, 1897, and was immediately greeted with enthusiasm 125 years ago yesterday. Following an act of Congress in 1987, it was officially adopted as the National March of the United States of America. So what better way to end a patriotic and Americana concert than with the National March of the United States of America? Be ready to sing along when cued. Here is The Stars and Stripes Forever.
Is this thing on? Hey, I'd like to get applause for our soloists, Armando Acevedo and Jen Mayer. Beautiful, Mama looks sharp. Oh, wonderful. And also Daisy Sue, thank you so much for being here. And for the whole orchestra, all my friends, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all for coming. See you over there.